What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Stack Sat Show, your beginner-friendly guide to saving in Bitcoin. No shenanigans, just saving in Bitcoin, taking custody, and repeating. Okay? Hope everybody's having a good day. It is Thursday. Is it Thursday? It's Thursday. What episode is it today? It says episode 293. Let's go. Bitcoin is at 63,000. But what do you actually get when you buy Bitcoin? We're going to talk about that in the Why We Stack segment. But first, we're going to jump into our favorite segment of the day, our first segment of the day. Stack Recap. No, the Sat Strength, Sat Strength. Today, the price of Bitcoin is $62,916.55. You can buy, oh my gosh, less than 16,000 Satoshis, less than 1,600 Satoshis. You can buy 1,589 Satoshis for a single dollar. Dang. Do you guys remember when we could buy 1,700 Satoshis for a dollar? Well, that was a couple days ago. Anyway, what is a Satoshi? A Satoshi is a fraction of a Bitcoin. Just like a dollar is made up of 100 cents, a Bitcoin is made up of 100 million Satoshis. If you can accumulate 100 million Satoshis, you in essence have a whole Bitcoin, so don't be afraid of the $62,000 price tag. You don't need to save up to buy your Bitcoin. You need to save in Bitcoin. Okay? Let's say you're walking down the street minding your own business, you look down, you see a penny, you pick it up, and all the day that penny could be worth 15.86 Satoshis. Crazy. I know. It's crazy. Alright. That is the Sat Strength. And as I speak, Bitcoin is dropping so we can get a better buy here on the show. Alright. Let me cue this up, guys. That's the thing I want to show you guys. It's pretty cool. Stay tuned. If you have any questions, do put them in the chat. And I don't see anybody in the chat. It's crazy. If anybody's in here, say hello. Oh, there it is. I see Carlos had me in the house. Round of applause from the live studio audience for Carlos. Thank you, Carlos. Thanks for always tuning in. I was going to show your chart, actually, Carlos. Let's see. Right here. There it is. Copy image. Open image and new tab. Oh yeah, cool. I'll bring this tab over so I can put it up on the screen while we talk about it. Okay. So let's introduce the segment and then we'll talk about why we stack. Here we go. Why we stack. Okay. So why do we save in Bitcoin? This is going to answer the question in the title. What do you actually get when you save in Bitcoin? Okay. You get a percentage of the monetary supply of Bitcoin. Okay. And why is that important? It's important because let's say you get up to 1% of Bitcoin, or whatever. What percentage of Bitcoin does one Bitcoin represent? That's actually good. See if you can do the math, Carlos. What percentage of Bitcoin is one Bitcoin? Anyway, let's just say it's a round number, so it's easy for us to track. Let's say you own 1% of the Bitcoin network, right? And the Bitcoin network is currently worth like $1 trillion, right? So your 1% is a fraction of that $1 trillion of value that's stored in that asset, in the asset class. Okay. Well, when the price of it goes up and more people and more value gets stored into it, your percentage of that supply stays the same, right? Your percentage of that supply, it stays the same. And that sounds boring, but that's the beauty. That's part of the beauty. That's what you get when you buy Bitcoin. You get you're buying a percentage of the monetary of the money supply. You're buying a percentage of that supply. And once you buy a percentage of that supply, it doesn't matter if the price goes up or down. You still own that same percentage of that supply, right? So it's pretty awesome. Okay. Whereas if you look at it in terms of like paper money, you can work your way to get, let's say you get 1% of the US dollar, or the 1% of whatever fiat money you use. You get 1% of that monetary supply, but when they print more, your percentage of that monetary supply shrinks. So you're possessing less. Like buying a property in the exactly, Carlos. It is like buying a property on the monopoly board, and you can't expand the monopoly board. The monopoly board is fixed. Okay. Or the government can't come up. The government can't come and cut up your monopoly property into four properties instead of one, right? Turn Park Avenue into Park Avenue 1, 2, 3, and 4, and devalue you, right? No, you get a percentage of the new monetary supply, of the new monetary network of the Bitcoin. You get a percentage of Bitcoin, and it doesn't matter what the price does. You still will always have that percentage of the network. It's freaking awesome. Okay, so let's look at this chart that Carlos shared in our Discord, and it took me a couple of days to process it, but it kind of makes sense, right? It's loosely, I think it's based on the power. It uses numbers from the power law, right? And I don't know how to feel about the power law, but we're gonna use this anyway. Okay, so it's a chart to kind of help you understand that if the power law is true and if it actually holds as predicted, it's going to be more and more difficult for most people to even get to one Bitcoin, to ever get to 5 Bitcoin. Sorry, 0.5 Bitcoin, to ever get to 0.25 Bitcoin, to ever get to even 0.1 Bitcoin. Okay, so on the left is the amount invested per month. Okay, so here on the show, we invest about $400 a month. If you break it down to like $20 a day, right? For 5 days a week. Hard Huddle in the house. What up? Round of applause from the live studio audience for Hard Huddle. I'm paying 2 times speed to catch. Oh, nice. So you're buying Bitcoin. I don't know what this number is here. Let's just say it's between 500 and what's more closer to zero. So let's say it's $100 a month. $100 a month. Starting from zero, it'll take you about 2 years to get to 0.1 Bitcoin, right? And if the power law holds true and the price of Bitcoin continues to increase, even though you'll be putting in $100 a month every month, those $100 still only gets you to what? Still only, okay, I see. It takes you that long to get to 0.1. I see. The further out you go, the more dollar value or more fiat value you need to gain a step to get that 0.1%, to get that 0.1 Bitcoin, right? Because as the price of Bitcoin goes up, you need more of that fiat dollars to buy less and less Satoshis, right? You get less Satoshis for that fiat money. So I guess in a way that is how you get priced out, right? Like right now, if you were to try to get to 1 Bitcoin, damn, that's so deflating. It's so intimidating when you look at it that way. What up, Andrew in the house? A lot of applause from the live studio audience for Andrew. Is there Carlos Armillo, Hard Huddle? No, nice. Yeah. Yeah, it's wild. You think about it this way. And it almost feels like if you're not at 1 Bitcoin, pretty much you're kind of not going to get to 1 Bitcoin. Unless you do some wild stuff. Right? Because, yeah, as the price of Bitcoin starts to tear up, it makes it more and more difficult to buy the same percentage of the Bitcoin monetary network, right? It takes more and more fiat money to buy the same percentage of the Bitcoin network. Yeah. So it's wild. So for somebody that's buying Bitcoin right now, it might seem hard, but it's getting exponentially harder the longer you wait to stack, right? And I know it's scary because the price goes up and it goes down and all around, but a time to get to 1 Bitcoin might be gone for most of us, right? Maybe a quarter of a Bitcoin is a half a Bitcoin, right? Still want to stack as much as possible, and it doesn't mean, and even with this chart, it doesn't mean that you should stop stacking because you're not gonna ever get to 1 Bitcoin. No, you keep stacking, because what else are you gonna hold instead, right? Even if you get to 0.1 Bitcoin, you'll still reap the benefits of Bitcoin preserving your value and giving you more purchasing power over time, right? So it's not something to discourage you. It's something to just like to encourage you to stack harder. The sooner the better. Global South is pretty much priced out. Yeah, yep, that's true. Pretty much priced out. It's crazy. But if we start looking at it in terms of Satoshis, then they're definitely not priced out. And maybe, like we were talking about yesterday, maybe someday we'll look at 1,000 sats or 10,000 sats as we do 100 Bitcoin today, right? Leonard in the house. What up, Leonard? Round of applause from the live studio audience for Leonard. It's wild. It's just crazy. The amount of value that is out there. Anyway, so the whole point is that when you buy a percentage of the Bitcoin network, when you own a percentage of the Bitcoin network and you hold it in custody, it doesn't matter how much new money comes into Bitcoin, you still have the same percentage of the Bitcoin network, which is so like mind-blowing, right? You're not getting debased. So I don't know, it's such a weird concept, but it's like it's such a simple concept. And I finally making that connection, you know? Like no matter what, no matter how much money goes in or out of Bitcoin, your sats are still your sats, and those sats represent a percentage of the supply, right? If anything, your sats will represent a bigger percentage of the usable supply as coins get lost and people make mistakes like we talked about yesterday, right? Like not custodying it correctly or not having a plan in place for inheritance, right? So coins are going to get lost, unfortunately. It's just a sad truth. Coins will be lost, and sometimes coins will be lost on purpose. Maybe somebody wants to take their riches to the grave, you know? And it's up to them to do it. Maybe they want to donate their Satoshis, their Bitcoins to the rest of us by making them unusable and causing us to have a bigger percentage of the usable supply. It's wild, right? When the U.S. when the U.S. was a hard currency, there was half-cent coins, and having a full dollar was When the U.S. was a hard currency, there was a half-cent coin, and having a full dollar was a dream. That's pretty wild, right? Carlos, that's pretty wild to think of it that way, right? Shoot, that's crazy. Anyway, lots of cool stuff to think about. It makes it super entertaining, super fun. Anyway, that's why we stack. On top of that, just to finish it off, as we say, saving in Bitcoin is like going back in time and giving yourself a perpetually increasing retroactive raise for the hours you've already worked for, as long as you hold a Bitcoin that represents those hours. Jake Thomas in the house. Round of applause for Jake Thomas. Jake Thomas, familiar? That name sounds so familiar. Is that like some? Is that the name of that TV guy that sells medicine? Roman, saw you roaming the comments section today. Are you gonna give me a longer lead today if I continue to go off on worked hard, worked hard? What? Are you going to give me a longer lead today if I continue to go off on worked hard, voted hard? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, Jake. You're welcome to hang out here, Jake, and talk about Bitcoin all day. Okay. I just don't think that politics are helping or hurting Bitcoin, I guess, in a way. Like I don't know, like I think Bitcoin's inevitable, you know. Whoever's in office, whatever they promise you, it doesn't matter. Like, you know, it's Bitcoin's in a Bitcoin, you know. Like the blocks are going to continue to print, whether it's banned or not banned, illegal or legal. Bitcoin's going to continue, and that's the whole point. Satwise in the house. What up? Round of applause from the last audience for Satwise. Carlos, cool. Same in England with their old coins. You had 1/24th coins. Wow. Yeah, see, that's what's gonna happen. And like, I'm so like, some of you guys weren't here yesterday, but yesterday I told the story of a guy I met who bought Bitcoin at $10. He bought like $1,000 worth of Bitcoin. He had like 100 coins, something like that. And he sold it at 20,000, right? He sold the coins at 20,000. And I was like, damn, dude, that's cool. Part of me says, man, you shouldn't have sold it. But part of me says, dang, dude, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of stuff you could pay for, right? And knowing what I know now, I would never sell. But at the time, you know, you see it as, you're not exactly sure what it is. You see it make these crazy gains. You know, who am I to judge? Right? Like I probably would have done the same thing, not knowing what I know now, right? But knowing what I know now, should not one sat is leaving my, not one sat. I disabled the sell button on my exchanges. Why would people vote hard against their own benefits? Don't underestimate Mr. Fink to fork us in the using DEI and ESG regs. Tell you what, Jake, I don't even think Fink has his own Bitcoin, so he's dealing with paper Bitcoin, dude. Right? Coinbase has his coins, if they even have his coins. They got his money, and they got his coins for him. Right? Mr. Fink is failing on step 2 of the basics of Bitcoin. Take custody. So whatever. You know what's gonna end up happening? You know what could happen? Jeez, imagine Coinbase pulls on FTX, dude. And I guess they're housing, I thought it was 10 of the top 10 of the ETFs are custodying at Coinbase, but it's actually 8. 8 of them are housed or like custody at Coinbase. Can you imagine if they rug everybody? Oh my gosh. And what's the government gonna do? Are they gonna say, oh, we're sorry, we're gonna go print more Bitcoin to make these people whole? Nah, they're gonna print money for the banks. They're gonna print money for BlackRock, and so BlackRock could go back on the market and buy that Bitcoin back. It's just weird. It's just weird. Anyway, BlackRock helicopter shows. Oh my gosh, you guys are nuts. All right, let's keep the show rolling, boys. Let's jump into the next segment of the show that we like to call the Stack Recap, because we don't only talk about stacking sats here Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern. We actually buy Bitcoin here at a rate of about $20 a day, unless the price of Bitcoin is below our average buy price for 2024. In that case, we buy $40 worth of Bitcoin, a double stack, a double, animal style, add mustard, no pickles. That's how I roll. Let me know what your in and out order is in the chat. Okay, today the price of Bitcoin is above our average buy price, so we're gonna buy $20 worth of Bitcoin for our stack. But let's look at that stack. It's beautiful. 2024, we're up about 11.97%. We've saved $5,497 into Bitcoin and accumulated 9.7 million Satoshis. Those 9.7 million Satoshis, if we were to go and try to buy them with today's weaker money, it would cost us 11.97% more dollars. In other words, it would cost us $6,155 to buy the same amount of Satoshis, because the value of the paper money, the purchasing power of the paper money is going down relative to Bitcoin. Same story here in our overall chart. We started stacking sats here May 22nd, 2023. And so far we've set aside $9,001 into Bitcoin. We've saved into Bitcoin. We've accumulated 2.5 million Satoshis. And if we were to go and buy those same 2.5 million Satoshis today, it would cost us 43% more paper money, because the paper money is losing purchasing power over time against Bitcoin, and therefore you need more paper to buy the same amount of Satoshis, or you get less sats per dollar. Okay, the current stack is worth in fiat, if you want to mention it that way, is 12.9. It would cost us $12,932 to buy the same amount of Satoshis today. That said, let's check out our other sat generating ventures. This is the Operation Flipping Sat, where I find stuff that I need to sell. I list it on OfferUp, and I convert stranded Satoshis sitting there in my office, in my garage, in my house, taking up space. I take those stranded Satoshis and I liberate them by selling that item on OfferUp or eBay or whatever, and then immediately taking that money and buying Satoshis with it instead. Therefore, Operation Flipping Sats, Operation Satoshi Liberation. Satoshi Liberation sounds better. Operation Freeing Sats, or Freedom Sats. For example, we sold a sewing machine for $80. We converted those $80 right away into Satoshis. We accumulated 147,864 Satoshis. Those Satoshis are currently worth $93.12. So we're up on everything except for these dang Muay Thai boxing gloves. I sold those when the price was $67,000. Maybe soon we'll be in the green again on this one. But everything else we're doing great on. The KitchenAid is up about $15. Woohoo! Operation Free Satoshi. Let's go. Free liberation of the Satoshis that are stranded in everyday items around your house. This is just another fun way, guys, to gamify this and make it fun, to motivate you guys to get rid of the stuff you don't need, just taking up space, and build your stack. You know, grow your percentage of ownership of the Bitcoin network. All right, this is the one that hurts the most. Operation 100 Days of Bitcoin Savings Challenge. It took about 100 days to accumulate 0.0758478 Bitcoin, 7.5 million Satoshis. We invested $5,100 into all these purchases, and it's currently worth $4,776. But it's okay, because even though the price of that Bitcoin has come down in terms of fiat money, the amount of Satoshis that we're holding because of it has not changed. The percentage of the Bitcoin network that we own has not changed, and that's what's the most important. What up? I see Paul in the house. Welcome to the stream, Paul. Good to see you in here. Carlos says, interesting. Okay. Yep. I love the conversations happening, guys. Keep it rolling. That's beautiful. Beautiful. All right, let me throw in some background music while we're rapping over here. But yeah, isn't it amazing? So we're doing pretty good, guys. We're doing pretty good. Let's see how the motorcycle is doing. Oh, here we go. This is what I wanted to see. Also, if you haven't checked it out yet, I'm doing a different way, yet another way of trying to convert people into understanding Bitcoin. Over on 21 Moto, it's a different channel, and I'm basically riding my motorcycle to save on gas, and whatever gas savings I'm doing, I'm putting them right into Bitcoin at the end of each ride. I'm doing basically moto vlogs, and in order for us to break even on the savings, with gas savings, it's gonna take me about 26,805 miles if I took the 21 cents and I saved it in a bank account, right? But what I'm doing instead is I'm taking those 21 cents per mile and I'm buying Bitcoin with it instead. And by doing so, my break-even miles actually come down as the price of Bitcoin goes up. So now we're actually now we have enough data in here to see the numbers actually move around. So if I were to just save the 21 cents per mile in a bank account, it's going to still take me 26,805 miles, right? But since I've been saving it in Bitcoin instead, as the Bitcoin price has increased, and you can see here, right? These purchases are gaining value, gaining purchasing power. Therefore, it's going to take me less and less miles as the price of Bitcoin comes up to break even on the bike, essentially for the bike to pay for itself, because I have no option to not go to jiu-jitsu. I have to go to jiu-jitsu. That's my thing, right? And since I'm already committed to making that drive, it's gonna have to happen in my truck, my V8, or on my Grom on the motorcycle, right? When I ride the Grom, I save money on a trip that I was gonna have to do either way. So that is the 21 Moto premise. That's the premise for that channel. Go over there, check it out, and watch me ride around town and talk random stuff. All right, let's get into the final segment of the show that we like to call... Oh, no, sorry. Now that we know how much Bitcoin we're going to buy, $20 today. I was hoping that the price would drop a little bit more, but it's good. We're going to buy $20 worth of Bitcoin today. And now that we know how much Bitcoin we're going to buy, there's only one thing left to do. It's time to stack some sats. Oh, come on. There it is. Time to stack some sats. Oh my gosh. And guess what? Let's see if we're off the Strike's naughty list. Are we off of Strike's naughty list? Let's find out. Going over to my Strike app. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Here it is. We're gonna hit it. Oh, it's gonna let me do it. It's gonna let me do it. There you go. $20 worth of Bitcoin going in on the Strike app. Next, we're gonna cut the music and hit the drum roll. Hit the confirm button. We're buying $20 worth of Bitcoin here on the Stack Sats Show, your beginner-friendly guide to saving in Bitcoin. There it is. And just like that, we stacked another juicy Satoshis. How many Satoshis we get? All right, let's update the spreadsheet with today's buy. Woo! Oh, and we're at 10 concurrent viewers. What's going on? Let's go, baby. If you guys have any questions, any comments, do put it in the chat. If you're new here and you haven't said hello, say hello. I shout out all of our viewers. And if you're down to talk about Bitcoin, it's jump in the comments. Jump in the comments. You only got to subscribe for about a minute, okay? We do that so that the grifters don't come in here and try to pump the poop coins, okay? No poop coins, no trading, no yield products, Bitcoin only, takes off custody, and that's it. Repeat. 9, 19, 24. At the price of 63,000. Yeah. I'm sad because I want cheaper sats, but I'm also happy to see it up. Yeah. It's cool. It's cool. We turned the corner. 0.00031404. Let's go. Let's go, guys. Do me a favor, hit that like button, guys. Hit that like button so you get more promotion and make this channel grow. Yeah. I think I was handicapping myself when my volume was too low. I'm starting to see better reaction now. So thanks again for mentioning that, guys. Okay, and also thanks again, Hard Huddle, for double checking that for me. Okay, so it looks like that is the okay, let's add it to the spreadsheet for 2024. Right there. Right there. Once again, proof of stack. McLovin in the house. Round of applause from the live studio audience from McLovin. What up, dude? Good to see you in here. We're at 10 concurrent viewers, guys. I know. I'm excited. I can't wait to jump into the Q&A section and talk about random stuff. But let's finish the spreadsheet and get this done. Okay, so for 2024, all right, 9.8 million Satoshis. And for the whole stack so far since 2023 is now 0.2924520 Bitcoin. Woo! I love it. Concurrent viewers, what up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for tuning in. I feel like I should give a little announcement since it's possible that these guys have never been here before, right? Hey guys, my name is Roman. I basically buy Bitcoin here on the show Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern. We talk about Bitcoin only. We talk about self-custody, and we talk about repeating that. So Bitcoin only, take custody, and repeat. We don't do poop coins. We don't do yield products. We don't do trading. We don't do any of that stuff. We don't mess with NFTs, none of that. It's Bitcoin only, 100%. And we're here to help beginners understand Bitcoin. It's a place for you to ask questions without getting beat up because of it. You're a beginner at it. And I have the patience and, most importantly, the time right now to explain things to you if you need them explained, to help you understand why it's important to take self-custody, why it's important to use a hardware wallet, how multi-sig works, single sig works. Any questions you might have, ask away. Don't be afraid, and I'll jump in there and answer the question for you to the best of my abilities. I'm not an expert. I'm just a guy on the internet that reads a lot and listens to a lot of podcasts and all that stuff, right? If I don't know the answer to your question, I'm not going to BS you. I'm going to tell you straight up, hey, I don't know the answer to the question, but you know what? Come back in a day or come back in a couple of days and I'll have an answer for you because I'll go do the research and I'll go learn about it because that makes me a better Bitcoiner, okay? And then I'm sure that won't be the first time I face that question, okay? Right now, I feel pretty comfortable that I can field more questions off the top of my head. But again, there's always room for improvement, and I'm not immune to that myself. So I'm always looking for new knowledge and to better myself to the benefit of my audience and my family and my friends. Okay? So that is what we do here. It's called the Stack Sat Show because that's what we do. Okay? All right. So now that we know how much Bitcoin we're holding, there it is. Little by little, guys. When do you think we'll get to 0.3 Bitcoin? 0.3 Bitcoin. You know what I think needs to happen, guys? I think we might need to start another 100 stacks challenge. We should have been doing the 100 stacks challenge when Bitcoin was down at like 54. Right? That's when we should have started another 100 stacks challenge. So let me see what kind of stuff I can figure out because I think I want to maybe do another 100 stacks challenge because we gotta get to 1 Bitcoin, guys. We just got to. Okay. Of course, this is the show stack. It's supposed to be a way for us to encourage new stackers to start. Right? So many things to do. The cool kids now call hardware wallets signing devices. Oh, okay. I'm down with that. I'm not cool, but I as long as I understand what's going on, as long as I understand what's happening, you know. Thanks for the facts. Because I'm Gen X and Z, not fluent in Z or millennial, right? Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. All right, boys. That was a good stack right there. Good stack, man. It's so I don't know. I know we've been at 63,000 before, right? And we got the interest rate cut, right? But it's cool to see Bitcoin up like that. And I know some of you guys think that it might come back down, right? But either way, if it comes back, if it stays where it's at, if it goes up, we just continue to stack. If it does come back down, you're not selling anyway, so it's not like you're losing. It's just unrealized losses. I'm just gonna continue to stack to be in it in case it takes off. All right, boys. You know what's coming up next? I gotta turn on this music here. There it is. Are zaps supposed to trigger live? No. That function is broken. But if you zap me, I will see it here and shout you out anyway. Don't waste your Don't waste your zaps. What is it? What's it here? Boom. Boom. Nope. Got it. Boom. There it is. Oh, I did see a zap. Satwise in the house, dropping in with the tasty. Whoa, dude, that's a lot of sats, dude. 2,100 sats donated to the show. Mr. Satwise Yanks in the house, and that's not the first time either. Thank you, Satwise. Appreciate it. Much appreciated, sir. Oh man, that's cool. We got to 10 concurrent viewers. We got some sats done. Jeez. It's like I'm almost getting paid to do this show. And in the future, those 2,100 satoshis that Satwise just sent might be worth somebody's whole salary. Right? It's crazy. That's crazy. Awesome. And thanks again, Satwise, and thanks to everybody else for tuning in. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the Friday episode of Stack Sat Show. But until then, remember, if you ain't stacking, you're slacking. Later.